camped last week and not really, and or she's attempting to, or she's drinking whatever alcoholic beverages there are,
You could drink. It tastes pretty
or
bad.
both. Yeah.
It's like barley beer or something. I don't even know if that's a thing, but like it's that level of bad.
Okay.
All right. I need a die roll from all of you.
Any particular die?
No,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. Just let me know what you roll. Yeah.
Okay, well, I rolled an 18.
Can I roll my letter one and give you a letter?
Sure. Yeah. Please do.
I got a D.
A D, all right.
I rolled 7 on 2d6.
Okay. So, Isabella, as you're eating at your deer nuggets, a man, imagine like Aragorn in his Strider phase, except he smells like slightly worse. He sidles up next to you, and he says, "Hey, Isabella, you're that kid who's always running around smiling at people, right? And you're gonna collect the tree tomorrow. Is that true?"
Yep.
I don't suppose you'd take me with you. I've never been able to leave the village, and I'd really love to get
Why
out
not?
there. And it's because I, And he looks sort of shady and shifty. He's like, I don't know. I guess I've just never done it. I guess I just love to join your party.
Wait, so can't you leave the village, or can you leave the village?
He starts to look a little bit red, and as you're talking to him, you notice that people around you are sort of pointing and making a little bit of fun at him.
Aw. Now I feel bad for him.
He's roll a perception.
Okay. 13.
13. So he's sort of, you realize that he's sort of the village drunkard. He wouldn't be useful at all in this party, but you can tell that he means well. He wants to be a bigger part of Christmas, and this isn't a great way for him to do it, maybe, but maybe he'd like a gift or something someday.
Oh,
We're gonna call that guy Timothy.
you can come with us.
Oh, he can come with you.
Can you carry the tree? I don't
Um,
think I can carry the tree.
Timothy like tries to stand up straight, and you hear his back like cracking heavily, and he's sort of bow-legged, and he says, I could try to carry the tree, I guess. All right. So as the moon rises on the horizon, the party starts to wind down, and you all presumably head back home for sleep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Pack up
cool.
the wares and secure them as securely as I can, because I don't want anyone stealing them, even though they wouldn't.
Are you leaving them out in the square where the party and festivities are happening, or are you taking them back home?
Home.
Take them home. Do you have like a? Are you ferrying them or carrying? Like, are you taking them all at once?
All at once.
Can you roll a strength?
8 on 2d6.
All right. So as you're walking, you manage to carry all of them pretty well, but one of them just falls on the ground, and it's one of your favorites. It's a twirling structure which represents the integrity of time, space, and also the heart. and it doesn't get like forever damage, but it's just a little bit dirty and gets a little bit of snow on
He's really gonna fuck with that weave.
it. Right. Did you guys want to talk to each other about the adventure you're going on? No.
No,
No,
Okay.
it's just all right.
we'll meet up in the morning. I mean, we, I, for Tilla at least, I parted ways from them after the chief sent us on our way, and my thought was, well, these people are useless. I guess I'll have to do it all myself.
Okay.
I am unfamiliar with the concept of planning, so I can't see why we would have to talk.
Do you presumably have parents, Isabella?
Yeah.
All right. Are they okay with you going?
Oh, I don't know. That had not occurred to me either.
Hmm.
I think I assume whenever an adult asks me to do something that they've already consulted all the other adults.
Okay, that's
Unless
fair.
it's something I
That's
want
fair.
to do, and then I have to consult adults until someone says yes.
So as you get home, your dad just gives you a big smile and says, "I'm so proud of you going out into the woods to get the Christmas tree." And with such an upstanding weaver as Tiller, um, all the people miles around know Tilla, and Kath as well. Such a beautiful young woman, so full of promise. Kath, when you get home, your parents are a little bit less positive about it. You have imagine like the trope Indian parents in a romantic comedy right now. You have a very controlling mother who is not so sure that you should be out in the woods alone. Um, I don't know. What's your like angle on that?
Um, I think maybe there's an argument because I think Kath is very it's an opportunity to show off. So she's very excited to be given to be doing it. So she's not gonna take any criticism from them, I guess.
And after some debate, they'd sort of given when they saw the fierce determination in your eyes. The tree. Until do you have people at home, or just weavings?
It's just me.
Just you and the weavings.
Yeah.
Um, all right. Well, I guess you like pay extra special care to secure them since you'll be away for the day. All right. So y'all sleep pretty well. You're like excited. You have that evening before something special happens thing going on in your head as you fall asleep. And you wake up the next morning to the crowing of the regionally appropriate domesticated animal. Um,
But it's still definitely a crow.
Yeah, possibly a crow.
Well, yes, it's crowing. Do roosters crow? Roosters crow, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying like whatever animal it is, it's making a crow sound.
Yes. It might be
It's
a
not like a
goose.
neigh or a bark or a
I think
honk.
it
No,
might be a
goose would
goose.
honk.
So maybe it's a honk. Well, anyway, you're up, and it's morning, and you like open your doors, and the air is fresh, and everybody's starting to go about their days. There's lots of feasting and festivity to be had in the village, and they're all looking forward to you returning in the evening with the tree for to be the centerpiece of the celebration. What does that say? Honk.
Horses honk.
Honk. Okay.
Question marks.
Question marks.
Because
Yes, that'll come back.
Rob can't do emojis to the two of you, so he has to just do them the old-fashioned way, where he holds up in front of the screen.
That's fair. That's fair.
Is it a car? Is the local wildlife a car?
No, they haven't invented cars.
Okay, sorry for interrupting.
That's okay. Uh, good thinking though. Good, because cars also honk. I see where you
Yeah.
see where you got that from. All right, so um, Isabella, as you're walking out the door, your parents tell you to make sure that you dress warm and remind you you've been out on your own away from the village exploring and climbing and things before, so they remind you, you got thirsty, take some water, you probably want a snack. Your dad hands you a bag of deer nuggets. And
Deer nuggets are my favorite.
good. Well, you have an entire bag. So you've got your warm clothes and deer nuggets and water just there all packed up for you, and a little like cured sheep stomach with your name carved on it, and it also has pictures of the ancient equivalent of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like these cool hunter figures.
Oh, okay.
All the other kids are very envious of you.
Right.
And Kath, your parents aren't quite so forthcoming. So if you want to get food, you'd have to like sneak it or get it publicly. You have a little bit of bartering currency, like knickknacks and things which are valuable to you. We don't have real currency here.
Yeah. I think I probably since there was an argument the night before, I think I probably like try and sneak out before my parents even get up.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like raiding our food stores to get some food and being quiet.
All right.
Okay.
I think we need a die roll. We need a stealth roll first.
I do have a D12, I think. Yeah. So
All right. That'll
I can-
work. Or you can use the wolf dice with the mummy.
6.
6. So as you're leaving, you manage to get the stuff collected up and you get enough food for the day. But as you're leaving, you realize that your mother is just at the top of the stairs investigating what the sound is, and she just gives you this really nasty look as you take off. She doesn't seem to really approve of what's going on. And Tilla, do you have your food and water and warm clothes at your house?
Yep.
Okay. So none of you have ever found a tree before. Short of just walking off into the cold winter forest.
I have seen many trees.
An evergreen tree.
Oh,
They're not super common.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I've seen regular trees, and regular
seen
trees
regular
are sticks.
So you know where the regular trees are, which means you know where the evergreens aren't.
Yes.
But you wouldn't know where to go.
No.
So you all meet up in town, and in like the center. That's your meeting area that you've arranged upon, and I guess it's up to you guys to work out where you're headed.
Do we have an axe?
None of you brought an axe yet, to my knowledge.
Can we ask the chiefess to supply us with an axe?
The chiefess is asleep, but you could go to her tent and wake her up.
Yep.
You said they were gonna supply us in the morning.
That's fair.
Yeah, I'm going outside her tent and yelling.
Okay. So Agatha, like blurry-eyed, she like pulls back the skins covering the entrance of her tent and is like, "What's wrong? The equippers aren't equipping you right? What's going on?
What equippers?
What did you look around in the square at all?
Did
Come-
we?
Come on, guys."
I guess
By the way,
so.
I am already bored with this conversation. I am kicking rocks in a circle Just-
Kicking okay.
to myself.
And she
Okay.
points back to the village square, and there's a little station where a man has an axe waiting for you, and he has no like cart or anything to carry a tree, but there's an axe, and there's a little map of the region which has some locations where evergreens have been known to grow.
Okay,
Alright,
I
I
go
just walk away.
I go over and collect the map and the axe.
Okay.
Okay,
So
what
you
is the
have...
oh, do I need to roll for that?
No, you're fine. You're
Oh,
fine,
okay.
you're fine. You all
What
have
is
food and water. One food and one water for all of you. So if you're getting into the second day, could be trouble. You have an axe and a map.
I only have 1 day's worth of deer nuggets.
1 day's worth of deer nuggets.
Okay.
The
You eat
villagers
them
have...
pretty fast.
It's not the
do eat them.
deluxe meal of deer nuggets.
I do eat them very fast.
Um, so the map, there are 3 known places where evergreens have been found before. One of them requires you to get across a river. It'll probably be frozen over, you'd imagine, but nobody's been out that way for a few weeks, so nobody's sure. One of them sort of through some wooded areas. The path is going to sort of cut off, and you're going to have to travel across the tree, through the trees, away from the path for a bit to get the grove. And one of them's up and over a fairly large hill, so you'd have to climb uphill for a while and then get over the top.
What was the second one again? Sorry.
The second one is like you take a fairly clear path for a while, but then you're gonna have to cut away from the path and travel, basically do some tracking, try to do some orienteering work to get to a tree.
There was one that just involved climbing up something high.
There's one that involves going up and over a hill and looking at the other side.
I would
Oh.
know.
Yeah, I want to do that.
I think that'd be okay, because if we got to the top of the hill, we should be able to spot an evergreen tree.
Okay.
That seems, yeah.
So
I
you're
wanna-
going to...
Now, before we leave the village, that I'm bringing some snowshoes.
You bring snowshoes?
Yeah.
Are they woven?
Yeah.
Okay. And do you have any snowshoes for the rest of the party?
Is
Tilla?
there snow on the ground? Are we trekking
Yes,
through
there's
snow?
snow on the ground.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I think it's safe to assume I would have also grabbed snowshoes. I would have like
Did my dad put snowshoes in my goat stomach sack?
Okay, you can all have snowshoes. That's fine.
okay, thank you.
I bring an extra pair because I thought one of them wouldn't, and I'm really annoyed that neither of them needs it.
All right, so we have +1 snowshoes. That could be useful. Okay. So as you're walking out of the village, you see Timothy. He's sleeping outside in the snow. He's just bundled up, so he looks cold, but he's not dead. And you can tell that he is just like he's still drunk. He's not hungover. He's still drunk, and he like sort of looks at you and like, have fun, and then he's back to face down asleep.
Okay, so he's not coming with us.
He's not coming with you now.
No.
All right.
Right.
So the time is 7 of the a.m. It's very cold. The sun is, just breaking the horizon, just like barely above it. It's been like half an hour since the animals started waking you up for sunrise, and you're walking along a road in the snow, and you can see the hill that you have to climb. It's a fairly tall hill. It's gonna take you, probably 2 or 3 hours to get up. There is a reliable path that you can take. You can try to cut corners a little bit if you want to get to the top a bit faster.
I am definitely running ahead of the other two, and then when they're not there, I run back, and then I run ahead of them again.
All
But
right.
I'm definitely gonna be too tired after like 15 minutes.
Okay.
Are there any other paths, like any paths you can see through the woods that might go around the hill or skirt the hill?
There's a path. You have a map, so you have a
Okay.
decent idea that there is a path that would go to the north side of the hill, but it wouldn't take you particularly close to the evergreens.
Okay. We'll go up the hill.
You're going
Start.
up the hill.
Start
All
the
right.
trek.
I get tired of Isabella complaining about being tired, and I demand, Cat, you have to carry her.
Oh, no! I'm not carrying her.
Well, she's tired. Someone has to carry her, and I'm not doing it.
No, she can walk.
Well, then, Isabella, stop complaining.
There. Isabella, stop complaining.
I'm definitely gonna make sad and angry faces and say nothing about this.
All right. But you're keeping up okay, Isabella? You're like
Yes, I'm fine.
probably had a couple of deer nuggets already.
Mm-hmm.
A bit of water.
See,
All right.
she was just bluffing.
So as you're wandering, I don't want Katrina to roll a dice right now because she's not by her dice. But as you're wandering, you're seeing a variety of things around you. Lots of trees, lots of snow, but a few animals here and there as well, and some things that might be even more interesting. We could get a die roll from all of you, except maybe Isabella. Maybe Isabella's like looking at her feet and grumpy.
Just trying to see if there's any other item of chance nearby that I could like flip, but I shouldn't flip anything else in the kitchen.
Not a knife, no.
I've got a D20 if and Katrina could verify because she's in the next room.
No, I'll just believe you.
All right, it's a 3.
I rolled a 3.
All right.
Taylor rolled a 7 on a D12 on 2D20.
Here, I'm rolling my alphabet 20. I got a J.
A J?
A J.
Okay, I heard day. Like,
I got a J.
well, J is pretty high, right? How high does the alphabet go? Is it all 26?
It goes all the way up to Z.
There's some stars, but I see a V. I see an X. I have no idea if this is actually like the full alphabet though.
Okay. Well, as you're looking around, Cass, you see some just really gorgeous stones.
Ooh.
They're shiny and they're like a little bit green. They look like something that somebody's actually like crafted and it's fallen off a wagon or something like that.
I picked them up and put them in my pack.
You pick them up and put them in there. Okay.
How big are they actually? How big are they?
They're like the size of a large necklace, like something something you'd wear that's very showy.
Okay, they still go in my.
Like this sort of that big. They go in your
Big
pack?
enough. Okay, yeah, I put them in my pack.
All right. And does anybody else see you do it?
I don't know.
No, I don't think.
Isabella's looking at her feet, and Tilla is rolled a 3. So.
Look in the other direction.
All right. So that's cool. So you keep on wandering up the hill, and after about an hour, you start to get sort of impatient and decide to start a conversation because the dungeon master told you to. And you realize that you don't really know what each other wants, like what each of you likes in life. And as it is the season of giving, you start to realize that maybe that's important to know. So a crow says something like, "Hey Tilla, what is it that you most want in the world?" And it's a crow says that, and like it doesn't actually make
Like a
that
talking
sound.
crow?
It's just that its call sounds sort of like that words, and Tilla mistakes it for somebody asking her, and so
Tilla just blurts out, well, I want a challenge. Sometimes people give me, weaving materials, and that's fine, I guess, but I can weave anything. It's not hard to get weaving materials. I want a reason to weave.
a reason to weave. Wow.
Wait, why do you need a reason to weave?
I'm bored of it. I've weaved all the things there are to weave.
Why don't you stop weaving?
That's all I have.
What if you got something else?
But I'm really good at weaving.
Isn't that a reason to weave?
Yeah, but it's not satisfying anymore. I'm better than everyone else.
Oh.
Some good 8-year-old.
Okay.
Kath, what do you want most out of life?
I want recognition and also a really snazzy fur coat.
I don't like what kind of fur.
Mammoth fur.
Mammoths are really hard to get.
I know, that's why.
Have you ever seen a mammoth? I've never seen a mammoth.
I saw a dead one once.
Can you use dead mammoth fur?
Yeah, you can't use live mammoth fur because the mammoth still wants it.
That makes sense.
Who do you want
Yeah,
to
exactly.
Kath, who do you want to recognize you?
Anyone in the village. Like, no one thinks I'm worth anything.
How are you at weaving?
I'm not good at weaving.
No one. Back. It's not gonna work.
Yeah.
Try something else.
I kind of like hunting, but the hunters will never let me come with them.
Why not?
Cause I don't know, cause I'm like, they don't think I'm good at hunting, but I've killed a couple rabbits.
Is it because you're shorter than them?
Yeah, probably. I don't know if I'm gonna grow anymore though.
You should wish.
I'm shorter than everybody.
Yeah, but you're still growing.
Yeah.
What do you want, Isabella?
I want the biggest rock collection.
Are they the biggest rocks, or is it the biggest collection?
Yeah.
I want both of those.
How big a rock can you carry?
I don't know. I tried to pick up a rock once that was like this big and I couldn't carry it.
Well, there you go.
Does it matter what kind of rocks?
I like shiny rocks. I like rocks with speckles in them.
Do you want one of these rocks I found?
Yes.
Okay, I give Isabella one of the rocks I found.
I'm gonna put it in my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle goat stomach backpack.
All right, so you have 2 of those left.
Okay.
After like way too much time has passed, I say thank you.
You're welcome. kind of, I slightly regret giving it to her because she did not seem grateful at all.
Oh. All right. So you're carry on up the hill. And what's your like walking arrangement now? Isabella is like trailing behind, I guess.
I think I want to be leading, so that maybe I'm not, but
Yeah, I'll be in front. I don't trust I don't trust Kath.
oh,
Okay.
okay. Then I'm like right behind Tilla, like trying to point out like where the turn in the path happens and stuff before she does anything.
Okay.
I'm right next to you, asking you a bunch of questions because you're my friend now.
Okay.
So you get to the top of the hill and you look over to the east, the other side of the hill, and you see is this a perception roll? I don't think this is a perception roll.
You have
No.
to spot.
I rolled a 10.
We need a nature check. You rolled a 10 on
Okay.
a d20.
I'll roll a nature check.
I rolled a 10 again.
I got a
Alright.
star.
I got 2 on 2d6.
Okay.
Oh.
So Tilla is looking over the side of the hill and it all just looks white. And Tilla realizes that she's 35 and it's prehistoric times and she doesn't have glasses. And so she doesn't really, she can't even see like elevation changes so much. She can make out the sky and there's just this
So why
white
was she
down
leading?
below.
Because that's who she is. She doesn't trust either of you.
And Isabella sees that there's a beautiful valley below and it just looks super white. Kath, who rolled a star, the best roll probably. What was the dice?
That was on my 20-sided alphabet dice.
Oh yeah, that's like a nat 20, I
So
assume.
yeah, there's
Um,
more. Well, there is more than one of those, so it doesn't have to be a nat 20. There are
so
4 stars.
so you realize that it's actually pretty hard to recognize where like an evergreen tree is when you're just looking at a ton of trees covered in snow. Like for the most part, you're seeing white stuff when you're looking down the hill right now. But you do manage to make out a little grove that has some trees with a little bit of green showing out underneath the snow. So you can share that with the party or not.
I think it'd be pretty easy to spot.
Not
an
for
evergreen.
Tilla or Isabella,
Well, okay.
but you managed.
Okay, yeah, I point out where I see a grove of evergreen trees.
Okay.
Shall we go?
Yep.
Fine.
Okay.
Yes, I see it too.
And I take off down the hill first since I spotted them.
And this is downhill, so I'm definitely running.
Okay.
I'm lagging behind because I, for one, don't see it, and for two, I'm not as fast as them.
All right. Roll an acrobatics check, Isabella,
I got a 5.
out of 20.
Yep.
All right. So as you're running down the hill, you don't like full on fall on your face, but you trip and stumble a bit and run into a tree, and you hit it hard enough to like spill the snow from the branch just all over the top of your head and your backpack and stuff, and you're really cold.
Okay.
Kath doesn't see that happen, but Tilla would have seen it happen.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to note cold as your status, unless you have any actions to take in response.
No, I'm very cold.
Hey. So you're wandering down the hill and keep on walking just toward the grove of trees, and you make it there without too much trouble. Who's got the axe?
I do.
All right. So there are about 50 trees here, variety of sizes. What are you looking for?
A very impressive tree.
A very impressive tree. You do have to carry it back. So,
Yes,
how impressive?
she's well, as impressive as a teenage girl thinks she can get away with.
Okay.
So probably a
And
little bit heavier than they could actually carry.
you did pick the hill up and over, so you have to carry it up a hill to
Mm.
get it back as well.
But maybe we could go find the path that goes around the north of the hill.
Is that a plan you want to share with the group?
There's a path to the north of the hill, huh?
Yes, I saw on the map there's a path, but it doesn't quite. We'd have to trek through the woods to find it on the north side of the hill. But eventually we'd be able to pick it up.
I am not paying attention to them, but I am really interested in the tree she found. Like, knocking at it and touching the branches and making them flick up and down.
It seems like a very sturdy tree.
Nice.
Fine, if you're leading this thing now, that's what you wanted, right? So go on, lead on.
Okay. She gets a bit scared at that, at like someone actually saying she's leading. But proceeds to chop down this rather impressive tree.
Do you think anyone's ever had a tree collection?
I'm gonna chop. I'm gonna ignore her.
How long do trees live after you chop them down?
Still chopping.
A little while. I don't know. When does a tree die?
Wait, is the tree alive when you chop it down?
It's alive right now. I don't know when it dies.
How long do trees live?
A long time. We can tell how long that tree's been alive once it's chopped down.
How long have you been alive?
35 years.
Is that a long time?
No.
How long will I be alive?
I don't know.
Do you know how old the tree is yet?
No. Stop asking.
How long does it take me to chop it down?
Roll strength.
Okay. Ah! I got a K.
So, it doesn't take you too long, like maybe 10 or 15 minutes. It's not the best axe in the world, but you're getting good chunks out of it after a while, and eventually you get it to split up the trunk.
Are we like smelting? Like, is this just a stone axe?
It's a sharp stone axe, yeah.
Okay.
All right. So the tree's on the ground. You're planning to go north around the hill?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think I go to the newly cut part, and I do my best to haul on it from that side and tell the other two to go pick up the other end and help pull, or just pick up branches.
Yeah, I grab a branch and pull.
I pick up the very top of the tree, which is not that much, but it feels very heavy.
All right. And so you don't know where the path will be exactly. You're just going around the bottom of the hill to the north side of it, I guess, looking for that path.
So we walk back towards the hill, and when we hit the hill, we're gonna go north around it.
Okay. So there's a bit of like stuff in the way.
Okay.
Dead trees and brush and stuff like that. You'll have to clear that out as you go. And as you're walking, you start to feel like you might be being watched. And I don't know. You want to make a roll to look around, see what's going on.
I rolled a 5.
I rolled another
5.
K.
What was your roll, Rob?
5.
5.
I just realized I feel
Okay.
like it's more in character if I only roll a d4 from now on.
I'm fine with that.
It feels more like a little kid that you only have like 4 settings.
That makes sense.
Okay.
All right. So you
I
don't.
rolled a 2 this time. 2 out of 4.
So you don't notice until the creature is fairly close to you. But you hear this breathing and a footstep. A branch snaps over to your right, and you turn around and you see this ferocious wolf sweater. It's woven in the most beautiful way you've ever seen, Tilla. And there's a distinguished adult standing wearing it. It's like snarling. Have you seen the wolves howling at the moon, that t-shirt? It's sort of like the prehistoric version of that t-shirt. Woven out of sticks. Tilla, you can't understand how that could be done. Like, you can understand how someone could make that as a stationary piece of art, but how would they take it off and on without it breaking?
You're seeing a shirt right now, right?
Talking about the shirt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, do you see? Yeah, you see Katrina's shirt, right?
Oh, wait.
She's wearing a wolf howling at the moon shirt.
Wow. All right.
In character. Unintentionally.
So I don't understand how this shirt was made.
You do not understand how it could possibly have been made. And standing wearing it is just a very handsome man with long flowing hair. He has blue eyes, which is weird. You haven't seen any people with blue eyes in your village before. And he like puts his hands up, he means you no harm, and he introduces himself as Sebastian. I'm gonna write that down.
Wait, was he growling at us? Or
No.
the shirt was growling at us? I swear you said there was growling.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought there was growling too.
Did
The
I?
wolf on the shirt.
Okay, well, the wolf on the shirt is growling,
Okay.
but it's not making sound. You can tell it's
Oh.
growling. I think I said it was howling at the moon. Howling,
Yeah.
not growling.
I thought you
You also
before that.
said
I
it was-
thought you said
Okay.
yeah.
Well, it was a plot twist. I tried to get you guys wound up about
Yeah.
an evil animal, but then it was just a person. And Sebastian says, "Hello, good day to you all. Maybe you can help me. I am part of a trade caravan from over the mountains. More civilized parts than these, where we aspire to the most beautiful arts and crafts in the
What does
entire
civilized
land."
mean?
Sebastian smiles and says, like, he's not trying to be mean, but he doesn't understand that he is. He says, "Oh, you wouldn't understand."
I don't like him.
And
I don't like him either.
he says, I'm on a trade caravan to your village, and we lost some beautiful, priceless stones. Necklaces fit for kings and queens somewhere along the path, and I've been looking for them all day. Have you seen anything like that?
Nope.
Nope.
I'm really good at noticing rocks.
Can you help us carry our tree back? And we can look for stones as we go?
Sebastian looks a little nonplussed, but he says, "Okay, I'll take the tree back to the path with you, but I'm not going into the village. I have to keep looking for these stones. They're beautiful stones. They're about this big. They look like they'd make a beautiful necklace. Have any of you seen any of them?
Nope.
Mm-mm.
All right. Well, that's too bad. Anyway, the path's not far at all. Just here, come with me. We'll drag the tree around, and he helps you out and gets
Thank
you
you.
to the path. And as you get to the path, he points you in the direction of the village. You already knew, but he, just makes sure. And he says, if you see those stones at all as you're walking down the path, please hold on to them and get them back to me. I can offer you riches that you just wouldn't comprehend for their return. They're very vital to me and my people, and we can give you iron tools, really anything that your minds could comprehend. And again, he doesn't realize that he's being mean when he says that. And then he
What are
goes
iron
off.
tools?
They're fancy.
Iron tools they're like your tools, except they're better.
What makes them better?
They can be sharper, and they can retain that sharpness better. They cut through things more swiftly.
Could they cut down a bigger tree?
They could cut it down faster. Yes.
Our tree's already cut down.
Yeah, so we don't need iron tools right now.
Well, just keep it in mind, please.
We'll keep an eye out.
Thank you. All right, and he heads off up the north way on the path, and you guys head south back toward the village. So everything goes pretty naturally from there, and you get home around about like 4 in the afternoon. You're tired. You stop for lunch at some point, presumably. If you have anything to say to each other, you must. You must.
I don't trust that guy.
You don't trust them?
I didn't like that guy at all.
No.
Never seen a shirt like that. How was it made?
Wait, what?
The shirt. I don't know how it was made.
Oh, I thought you said I was a maid.
I've never been a maid.
Yeah, you only weave.
Found out I was the best weaver in the known world when I was a teen.
They probably, yeah, I think they have better weavers there.
No, they absolutely do not.
Then how was that shirt made?
I don't know.
Exactly.
They must have some kind of trick. It can't be better weaving.
Isabella, you're very quiet.
How old were you when you figured out you were the best weaver?
Must have been 16 or 17.
And how old are you?
14.
Could you be the best weaver, but you don't know it yet?
I'm no good at weaving. I've tried.
Did you try weaving before you found out you were the best at weaving?
Yes. It took me a few years to find out that no one was better than me.
There's other things to do besides weave.
Have you ever seen anyone else chop down a tree?
Me?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm assuming yes.
Were they better at it than you?
Yeah, because they were bigger and stronger.
When you're 17, do you think you'll be better than them?
Maybe.
Because maybe you're the best at cutting down trees.
Maybe I am.
What do you want to be the best at, Isabella?
Climbing things.
How are you at climbing?
And yelling. I am really good at both of those things. But I'm not the best climber that I know.
Who is?
Rothsey. He is 12. And he is better at climbing than me. Because he is not afraid of things. And
What
I
are
am
you
afraid of
afraid
things. Sometimes trees are really tall,
Yeah.
and I don't want to go up in them. And he goes up in the really tall trees.
Okay. Sometimes you gotta, I mean, if you really want to climb, you gotta climb.
I think when I'm 12, I won't be afraid of anything anymore.
Okay.
Tilla's also laughing. Tilla is laughing as well as Rob.
I had bison jerky, by the way, for my food.
Was it good?
Yes, it was very good.
All right. You guys still have the +1 snowshoes. You didn't offer them to the stranger. He didn't need them. That's okay. He would have just made fun of you.
Dodge that bullet.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you get back into town, and it's it gets dark pretty early, so the sun's already definitely dipping in the sky. The tree's looking a little bit like you just dragged it for 3 or 4 hours, and you're feeling really, really, really tired at this point. Fortunately, it was all sort of a little bit downhill once you got around the hill. But you're definitely worn out, and the villagers are very happy to see you. There's a lot of applause. They seem generally pleased with the tree that you have chosen. And they slaughter and start to prepare a deer for dinner. And you know that you're going to get the lion's share. You will get the best deer nuggets. And in fact, the butcher, whose name is Conrad, he makes a point of... He's very good at pulling the hides of creatures off them in very good ways, and he presents the hide to Tilla as material for another project. He can't really think of how hide from a deer would be used for weaving, but he knows that Tilla just does incredible things. Yes. And Kath, you notice as you walk into the village that people notice that you're first in the party. They notice that you're leading the way, even ahead of Tilla, who, everybody knows Tilla. So they're a little bit impressed, and your parents are they still look like they're grumpy that you went, but you can tell that they're glad that you're home as well, safe and sound. All right. That was part 1 of our adventure. I'm going to take 5 minutes, and then we'll do part 2.
Okay.
Are we gonna get in trouble with Sebastian? Are they gonna show up?
With Sebastian? I mean, if they find out you took their stones and didn't tell them, you might get in trouble.
We took their stones?
Tilla!
We're on break.
How did you miss this?
Oh, we got some food.
All right, yep, I'm going to be right back.
I realized halfway through chewing that maybe it was annoying that I was chewing.
I didn't notice it.
Okay. Mm. Speaking of chewing, I can put this back now. You want some cheese? Right, cheese right up right now.
I mean, if we're both wearing headphones, it's probably fine. Let me. Is yours on? Yours is on right now, right? Oh, okay. I was gonna practice by talking like I'm talking now and seeing if I heard feedback or not.
All right, go ahead.
Testing. Testing. I don't hear myself. Oh, never mind. Testing. Testing. Yeah, I could definitely hear myself.
For some reason, it's not connecting.
What do you mean it's not connecting?
Like my headphones aren't connecting.
Oh.
Oh, it's got custom. There we go. Okay.
Oh man, Kayla's got a fruit by the foot, you guys. Oh, I know what you do.
Caitlin, watch. Watch.
What?
Watch. This is how I'm meant to pour this.
Okay. Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you don't pour it like that, this is a milk stout nitro from Left Hand Brewing Company.
Okay.
So it's... I don't understand exactly how it works, but it's like it's not carbonated if you drink it from the bottle. And
Oh.
pouring it like that activates the nitro in it, the
Okay.
nitrogen in it.
That makes sense. Nitros are weird.
You realize this is like the I've gotten you that beer.
I know, I like it from the
The-
bottle, but then I got told that I was drinking it wrong yesterday.
Okay.
What a favor that person did you.
Ah.
Is it better in the glass?
Yeah, probably. A bit. I don't know. You guys think that they have days of the week? Were there days of the week yet?
If there's not writing, there's probably not.
There's no calendar to
There'd
have
be, like-
days on.
Yeah, there'd be like moon phases maybe.
Hmm. When was the first calendar? There was one in Rome. Egypt had one, right?
Yeah, I
Egypt
think
had one.
It's a pretty early research in Civ.
that's true.
Not as early as mining, though.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Or animal husbandry.
I got Caitlin playing Civ. Caitlin plays Civilization and RimWorld and Fallout.
I haven't played it in a while.
I haven't played Civ in a while either. Alright. So, when we left off, you'd just gotten back into town, and you were having the evening feast again, and everyone was celebrating, and I mean, it looks a lot like the feast you were at last night, except that now there's a very impressive evergreen tree. How old was the tree? Never looked.
We got some dice. I'll be right back.
Oh, that's how I can find out. The tree was 16 years old.
It was a 16-year-old tree, which means it's like, you guys carried that? Wow. That would be a large tree, yeah?
That would be a large evergreen tree. Yeah.
Maybe it is a breed that grows small.
That makes sense. And
It's had
trees
no-
were often malnourished in those times.
Yeah, it's had
Yeah,
no
maybe-
bumper tummy.
Before people had developed technology to feed the trees better.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's how it works. All right. So there's a very large tree in like the center of the village square, and it's really nice because the village is not particularly fancy. There's some of Tilla's less valuable artwork has been hung up at corners around the village, and that brings a little bit of color, but it's mostly from Tilla's phase working with browns and earth tones.
Oh, okay.
So it's very.
I was gonna ask what makes it less valuable.
I don't like them anymore.
Yeah, it's but
Tilla
they
charges based on how much she would like to keep the thing she's selling.
Mhm.
they get used as landmarks around town, so people are like, meet me below the like deer guts shaped like a crow, and then everyone knows what they're talking about.
Tilla seems like a very interesting weaver. Most
She
of the
weaves
time,
in uncommon materials.
yes.
Anyway, now there's a nice green tree in the center of everything, and torches are lit up, and it looks quite pretty. There's some dancing and singing. Do you have people you'd like to be dancing with at this occasion?
I'm a little kid. I dance by myself.
You dance by yourself.
There's this one woman who I've had my eye on. I try and dance with her.
Roll charisma? Charisma, I think.
Okay, I got 8.
What would you say Tilla's charisma modifier is?
Actually, I already counted it as -1.
Okay. Because of the like time of year and everything, Genevieve dances with Tilla, but you can tell that it's sort of like she's not really sure why she's doing it. And at the end of the dance, she sort of just wanders off,
Oh,
like
Aw.
like getting ghosted, except in a prehistoric village.
In a social gathering, yeah. Kath has definitely had her eye on like the up and coming hunter in the
Oh.
village, who I think is about 17, and
Okay.
she goes and asks them if she can dance with them.
You're asking them.
Yes, she's being assertive now that she's got some fame.
Some tree chopping under her belt.
To be fair, she like spent like the first half of the dance like staring at them wildly and like trying to convince herself to go.
What is he been doing?
psyching yourself up.
Huh?
Is this one of those dances where all the women are standing around the outsides and all the boys are dancing in the center with their
No,
boyfriends?
they've just been dancing with other people.
Oh, okay, I see.
And Kath has just been like having a mug of beer and trying to convince herself to go talk to this person.
So you're like a little bit intoxicated while you're doing this.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So give me a charisma roll. It's gonna be at disadvantage because you're slurring a little bit. So that means you have to roll twice, and we'll take the lowest of the two.
Okay. I got a P. and an E.
An E.
Oh, and I
That
just
almost resulted in an actual spit take from me because I had just had a big swig of tea.
Did I catch
So,
everyone with something in their mouth?
Yes, you did.
so let's see.
No.
What is
Okay,
this
wait,
guy's
wait.
name?
Wait, think about it while I go grab a paper towel because I just spilled cider on the.
Oh,
She can't spit take herself, can she? That's not how that works.
It's a powerful joke.
It's a powerful joke.
mhm.
Who's Conrad? Timothy Conrad. Roxy.
He was the drunk.
The drunk's Conrad, not Timothy.
No, Timothy's the drunk. I
Yeah.
didn't
I
write
thought-
down any Conrads.
I thought you said Timothy Conrad, like that was his last name.
Oh, okay. Sebastian is the traitor.
What?
Oh, is Conrad my dad?
Oh, probably, yeah.
I'm still here. You can continue.
Okay,
Hey, what are you cutting?
so
I saw Caitlin was cutting something, and I was very interested in
Oh.
what she's cutting.
I'm cutting duct tape stars and moons
Ah.
out for Steven's Santa wizard hat.
So I have, this is my wizard hat regularly
Okay.
for when I'm streaming and I need to be a wizard,
Okay.
which happens sometimes. But for Christmas,
I have it, Steven, because I'm.
oh,
putting
you have it?
stars
Oh,
and
can you
moons on.
show them then?
Oh yeah.
For Christmas, I have a different wizard hat.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
It's
Oh,
very
that looks
tall.
nice.
It's very tall.
It is very tall.
And the brim is sparkly.
All right.
Nice.
So you walk up to the 17-year-old up-and-coming hunter whose name is LeBron. I don't know. How do you come up with names? I don't know. I ran out. I could have gone
LeBron. I think LeBron's a great name.
LeBron.
No, it's fine. No, it's fine.
His
yeah.
name is LeBron. And I mean, you're slurring your words and sort of tripping over your own tongue a little bit. But he knows that you just collected a really cool tree. It's the coolest tree that's been in the village for a few years. And so he's happy to dance with you. Although his friends are sort of laughing at him a little bit when he does, because your like speech delivery is impeded a bit. But yes. So you dance at the dance. And Isabella
the
is
whole
just dancing
time
with
I'm
herself.
like, anytime he passes the tree, I'm like pointing and saying, I hold that all the way back on my own.
There's a tree.
I hold that. I hold that.
It was a man with a wolf. Very good. Very good.
I feel like I am probably doing a similar thing with every child,
Yeah.
like every other kid in the
Well,
village.
you
I'm
actually-
like, did you see the tree yet? And then I bring them over to be like, this is the tree.
And as you're doing that, you notice that you see Roxy, and Roxy's actually climbed up the tree and is near the top of it. And he's looking down at you and making like a 12-year-old boy face.
That seems really dangerous because the tree's not secured to anything
Oh,
anymore.
it's been
is it?
secured. It's been secured.
Oh, okay.
It's well
I'm
secured.
pretty sure I yell at him to get out of my tree. Because that tree is not for climbing.
He says that you're just jealous because you couldn't climb it.
No, I wouldn't climb it because it's not for climbing. It's a tree for looking at.
He looks a little bit confused. And he climbs down out of the tree. Alright. So the night ends, and the next day you wake up everything's good at home. Isabella's parents are very proud of her. Kath's parents are a little bit icy, but everything seems to be normal. And Tilla spends the evening like looking through all of her weavings, trying to see if there's anything like, could it be this technique, the Agrippa? Could it be the Capoferra? Just sort of. These are Inigo Montoya quotes. But can't work out how that weaving could have been happening. All right. Unless there's anything else you guys want to do tonight. No?
I spend most of it, I mean, a fair amount of it, just kind of finding a quiet place to cry.
Aww.
All right. How much do you cry? Is it like
Not
enough
for sure.
to doesn't disturb your sleep?
No, not. I don't cry for that long, but
Okay.
I spent a lot of it alone after striking out with Genevieve.
Okay.
At least what I perceive to have been striking out with Genevieve.
All right. So the next day is market day. And traditionally in the village on market day, you don't have currency, but there's bartering. And in the winter festival, market day is about finding gifts for others. It's not about buying things for yourselves. Tilla's always struggled with this. And Kath has always actually had her parents basically do it for her. Like, this is the first year that Kath is really getting a chance to do it on her own. And Isabella's there with her dad Conrad and her mother, currently unnamed, Beyonce.
You could pull up a name generator.
Beyonce and Conrad.
Okay.
What's weird about? We established they don't have blue eyes. Let's get. All right. Conrad and Beyonce. It seems like a perfectly normal couple to me.
Okay.
And so the market runs from dawn until dusk. There's all manner of wares from your side of the mountain to choose between. And it's up to you guys to work out what you're gonna try to get and who you're buying it for and how you're paying for it. There's a guy who's selling domesticated animals. There's somebody selling like sort of bone sculptures. There's somebody with hides. There's a weaver, not as great as Tilla, but
I was gonna
Okay.
say there's another weaver, right?
yeah, but not, this one's clearly not as good as Tilla.
This one will actually sell you like practical items, though.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
not really.
true. There is that. There is
Because
that.
I feel like all I was able to retain was that Tilla likes weaving, and so I want to get her something like. So I want to find something from the other crappy weaver that I can buy for Tilla.
All right. So you
I don't know what
wander.
I have to trade though.
Yeah, I was gonna ask that too.
Well, it's sort of up to you guys. Isabella, for you, would be mostly up to your parents. You wander up to Bartholomew's Woven Imperium, though, and take a look at the goods. There are fleeces and sweaters. There are rugs and mats, mostly made out of normal materials. You see a few that have rocks sort of embedded in them in ways that would appeal to you personally. It looks like a clothing store, plus it looks like a Bed Bath and Beyond, maybe. I don't, minus the bath.
Is there anything with a tree woven on it?
Is there anything with a tree woven on it?
Any type of tree.
Roll a perception. So you look through the store.
That's right. I'm rolling everything on a D4, so I rolled a 3 out of 4.
So as you're wandering through, you notice that there's a shirt. It's in like the sort of the overflow racks. This is something that didn't get bought last year, um, for reasons that you can't comprehend as an 8-year-old. It says XL on it for some reason, and it has a beautiful tree woven onto the chest.
Okay. I feel like that's what I want to get her, to remind her of that time that we all went and got a tree.
All right. So you can buy that. Your parents don't like give judgment on whether it's a good gift or not. They're happy to see that you're enthusiastic about buying something for someone else.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll pay for that with their own trinkets and bartering goods. Maybe
Okay,
Beyonce gives a performance. Yeah.
What else? You had mentioned earlier that there were like other things
Mm-hmm.
that we would have to barter with.
Yep.
What might, if we don't have currency, like what else do we have?
So as like a teenager who hunts and stuff, you'd have some really nice rocks in your pack. You also have a few animal hides. You have your own clothes. Like there may be some clothes that you've grown out of that you don't need anymore, that your parents would be okay with you giving away to get something else in return.
I'm assuming there's like a weapons shop.
Yeah? Weapons and tools.
Yeah, I'd like to look at like I'd like to look at the I'm pretty sure this is what it's called. The addle. Do you know what
The spear thrower thing?
Yeah, the spirit. I'd like to look at a really nice addle, like with a really nice stone tip on.
Okay.
How much? Like what would I have to?
Well, the nicest one in the store is not something you could afford with just your regular things. There are some more budget ones, sort of training addles that you could pick up for yourself just with your regular stuff. You do have your stones as well.
I know. Yes. Okay. Would my two fancy stones cover the cost of the fancy?
Are you going to show the storekeeper the stones?
I don't think he'd like. Yeah, actually, because that gets them out of my pocket. then they're in someone else's pocket.
The storekeeper sees the stones and his eyes go completely wide, and you have to roll a charisma check.
Or he's gonna like ask me where I got them. I got an H.
This is by far my favorite aspect of what we're doing.
All right, and he sees both of them.
No, just one of them.
Just one of them. He looks shocked at these beautiful, the beautiful stone that you show him. It's obviously not from around here, and he starts offering you all sorts of stuff. He's like, "Oh, yes, the most beautiful addle. Here, look at this gorgeous axe hewn from the finest sandstone, and here, what about a bow and arrow too? Do you need a bow and arrow?" And he's like piling stuff into your arms.
I just want the addle. I don't want to like cause. I'm getting concerned that I'm like causing too much of a scene. So I'm just like, I just want the addle.
Just the addle. Are you sure?
Yes. Here, take it. It's okay.
All right. So he takes it off you, and you hurry out of the store with the addle, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. He has the stone now. What's his name? His name is Addle. Sort of coincidentally.
He makes the best addle in the whole on the whole mountain.
All right. Tilla, what are you up to in the morning?
I would like to find a gift for Genevieve, but I don't know exactly what to get her, so I'm doing some shopping around.
All right.
I think at first I'm probably looking for some kind of jewelry.
Okay. So the jewelry available, there are two different stores. There's a trader from the river, and there are lots of like shells and shaped rocks and things made into jewelry that trader has. And then there's another trader who's actually from your village, and he has mostly colorful rocks that have been found just sort of in the surrounds.
I'm gonna go with the river one.
The river one?
Yeah.
All right. So there are like the neck things with the shells on them and like twine tying them around your neck. There are bracelets with like rattly stones and things. There's all sorts of stuff.
Okay. I guess are there any metal? Is there any metal jewelry?
Not at
No,
the river
at the
trader.
river. Okay.
The trader from around here has a little bit of like little bits of metal, but metalworking is sort of still beyond your village. So it's scraps that they've found from other places and stuff. It's nothing super impressive.
All right, I'll go with the river one, and if there's a nice, very intact shell, like that's the full shell that's incorporated into the jewelry in some way.
All right. And the shopkeeper is very interested about your weaving, and it's really up to you to sell what you're trading for this.
I have brought some of my more practical items to trade with, including a basket I've made all from one strand.
Ooh.
I found a really long plant and made a basket out of just the one strand. And it's it's a fine basket. It's fine.
How large is the?
It's a bit of a gimmick basket.
Okay.
It's not a huge basket.
Wow.
You could put some things in it.
Okay. Do any of you guys have like? Do any of you guys have like spells as part of your character?
I don't think
Did you tell us all to be human?
I said to like base your character off a level 1 D&D class. You're all human, yeah.
Oh, I didn't do that.
You're allowed to have spells if you want. Just saying. You don't have to.
I don't feel like I'm old enough to have spells.
That's fair.
Parents won't let you.
Yeah, I don't
That's
think
fair.
I should be allowed to have spells yet.
It's just like if you did, I wanted to make sure I was giving you a chance to use them.
If I have any spells, they're like make a tiny amount of light spells. Like they're like parlor tricks.
Maybe
I have an uncle wizard who taught me like how to make like a dime-sized amount of light.
Okay.
In my palm.
We'll go over to Uncle Wizard's.
Tilla could have like her weaving could be magical in some way.
That's true.
I like that idea. I think it's unconscious. So she truly does believe she's just naturally the best, and maybe she is locked into some magical thing that makes her better at weaving.
Okay. I was thinking maybe it'd be some magic that makes people think her wording is better than
Oh,
Or like a
it's.
maybe that's the
inverse
nature of the
sort thing.
magic. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the nature of the magic. She's still not conscious of it, but other people think she's better at weaving than she actually is.
Nice.
Okay.
Do you want us to do more shopping? Because I've only bought one thing for one person.
Well, that's the morning, and then
Okay.
there's lunchtime, and everybody's eating and joyous and celebrating. And as lunch is sort of winding up, a caravan plods into the village from over the mountains, and as you're sitting there watching it come in, you realize that Sebastian is sitting at the head of the caravan, the guy who was looking for the stones in the woods the other day. And they've never been to the village before, that anybody can tell. Everybody's very excited, and they've got just cooler stuff than you do. They have
Oh,
they have metal that's being worked into like usable good tools. They have practical weaving that is very impressive, and stuff that Tilla would be impressed by. And they have all the coolest children's toys. They don't have the prehistoric Ninja Turtles over there. They have a different thing called Transformers. And so Isabella sees that they've got rocks, and the rocks turn into other rocks.
what?
Yeah. I mean, like, they're still the same rocks, but they go from one shape to a different shape. And you can just change them back and forth over and over again. And all the village is sort of crowded around, very excited. And Sebastian's sitting at the head of the column. And if you're listening, you can roll me a dice to see if you can sort of hear what's going on.
I rolled a 4. I can hear everything.
Wow.
8 on 2d6.
V.
All right. So all of you hear Sebastian is greeting the village and making his like diplomatic introductions. He wishes them all the best in this cold season. He knows that times can be tough and hopes that everyone is well. And he's looking for some beautiful stones that were lost on the path yesterday. He hasn't been able to find them. He's been looking. He actually meant to be there by the start of market day, of course, but he was looking with all of his caravan for these stones and hasn't been able to find them. They're very important to him, and if anybody has seen any of them, he'd love to know. But nobody in the village steps forward at this time to say anything about them.
Can I ask does the weapons shopkeeper like know who I am?
He isn't. Oh, does he know who you are? Yeah, he knows who you are.
Okay.
There's only 50 like permanent residents of the village.
Well, he could have been from like outside the village.
He's
There were
one
people-
of the
Okay.
guys from around the village. Yeah.
I feel like maybe I should have asked that before I did what I did. I think I want to like. So are Sebastian and people like setting up their
Yeah.
like stuff?
Yeah.
I want to like go up like as inconspicuously as I can and like hand him the last stone and say, I found this one as we came back to the village.
Okay. And his eyes really light up, and he's very excited. And he says, "Did you see 2 others like it? We lost 3. Have you seen any others?"
No, I only found this one.
And he looks sort of dejected. Did anybody else who was traveling with you maybe see one? Is there any chance?
I mean, we were all together the whole time. And I'm the only one. I only found this one. I'm sure they would have told me if they'd found more.
Am I near to this conversation? Like, can I hear it?
Yeah, you rolled a 4. You can hear it.
Okay.
Oh, no. Wait.
I'm just gonna show every single rock I picked up, which is
Okay.
like a lot of rocks.
Okay.
And I think he's gonna want to see all of these.
Okay.
So not only
So
am I showing them, but like then I'm like grabbing each one individually and being like, and telling him what's cool about it. So like be like, this one on this side, it's like green, and this one is shaped kind of like a fish, and this one is almost square. Like but there's like at least 27 rocks.
But is the rock that I gave you mixed in?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sebastian actually like sort of entertains you for a while. Did you like dump them all in front of him at once, or were you showing him to like one at a time? Showing them to him one at a time.
I assume that I have like some sort of like, I don't know, like a piece of cloth that I keep them all wrapped in. And so you can kind of see all of them, but maybe you can't see every single one the moment I pull them out. But like you can see multiple rocks at once.
So he's actually being pretty patient with you. He's listening to the stories of the rocks and actually quite enjoying it. You're telling some like good things about the rocks and about their qualities. And he actually, even before he sees the most beautiful of the rocks, he says, what's your name, little girl?
Isabella.
Isabella. Have you considered a career, perhaps, in working with rocks and stones? My people know all about stoneworking and the qualities of the different minerals. And he says, without realizing he's being rude, that means rocks. Around these parts, maybe someday you could come learn from us.
Where do you live?
We live across the mountains.
How far
to the
away
east.
is that?
It's about 2 weeks. 2 weeks travel.
Is that a long time?
I suppose it depends.
Do you have to bring like a lot of snacks when you go?
When I travel that far, I have snacks with me, but I also hunt along the way. You would need a lot of snacks for 2 weeks.
I'm gonna point at I can't remember Caitlin's character's name.
Kath.
Kath. I'm gonna point at Kath and say she can hunt things.
Oh, she can she?
Uh-huh.
All right, so he'll turn back to Kath. And what sort of things have you hunted?
I think I've turned, like, didn't really want the attention to begin with, and like is now embarrassed to have his attention again. I just say, oh, I've killed a couple rabbits on my own.
Rabbits. They can be tough to track and to hit. What did you kill them with?
I made a trap of branches.
Oh,
And
clever
then
hunter.
and then use my dad's spear.
Oh, very good. And generous as well. Thank you so much for returning the stone to me, Kath.
You're welcome.
It's good to be among strangers, but find that they all are willing to do the right thing. And he looks at you, like directly at you.
I cower under his gaze a bit.
I've barged up and say, "How was your shirt made?"
Well, I don't know. I purchased this back home from our master weaver, a man named Better Than Tilla is his name. And
I'm gonna call him BTT.
right. He's very secretive about his methods. It can be a bit of a pain to take this on and off. I've had to have it repaired a couple of times, I'll admit, but it holds together quite well.
It's a pain to take on and off. How?
Well, you have to be very careful. It's a little bit brittle. It's I believe, a very new technique, which Better Than Tilla is still mastering.
Cat sneaks away. By the
Cat
way.
sneaks away. All right. That's fine. And at this point, Isabella's like gone through the stones enough that Sebastian sees another one.
Did I not notice people started to have a different conversation? Did I just keep talking about them?
Yeah, you did. Sebastian sees the beautiful stone and he says, Isabella, that's the stone that I've sought. Please, I'll give you anything for it. Anything in this market that you would like, I'll buy for you. Thank you so much for finding it for me. I hope that I can have it back.
I can get anything?
Anything in this market, yes.
Is there like a fur trader of some kind?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I want to get Kat like a coat that is way too big for her. Like something that's made for like a very large full-grown man.
There is a coat that's made from the hide of a baby mammoth. The fur of a baby mammoth, rather.
The baby
And
mammoth fur is actually softer than the adult mammoth.
it is.
The first cut.
Yes, it's a very, very valuable coat. The most expensive item in the entire store.
Will he buy that for me?
He's happy to.
Okay,
He's happy to.
that's what I want.
All right. And so he buys that for you, and he takes the second stone, and there's just one left. As you're wandering around the market, you do see Roxy and Genevieve and LeBron. Was that the hunter's name?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. They're all there and they're buying things too. You don't notice them buying anything for you, but maybe they are. If you want to like say hi, you can.
I'm gonna secretively try and watch what Genevieve's doing.
So as you're watching Genevieve, you see her ducking into a jewelry store, and she's glancing around. She looks directly at you and makes eye contact, and she like sort of blushes a little bit and looks down and keeps looking through the jewelry.
And like find an excuse to look somewhere else and walk away. Like, oh, I forgot my wallet. I better go home and check on it.
Okay.
And check on your wallet?
Look, Tilla's not a graceful woman.
I awkwardly go up to LeBron and say like, hi, sorry, I had too much. I think I had too much beer last night.
You did?
Yeah, I don't drink that much so far.
You do, actually.
What?
It seemed like you do.
Well, I just gotta, work up that tolerance, I guess.
So, it was impressive that you brought that tree back to the village, Kath. Was it difficult?
Yeah.
What was the toughest part of the day?
Well, I did chop it down myself because they sent me with an 8-year-old girl and an old lady.
Oh, well, when I went to do it, I had to go with a 4-year-old and a man who couldn't even walk, he was so old.
Why would they send a 4-year-old into the woods?
I don't know. Why did they send an 8-year-old, right? And he laughs.
She awkwardly laughs with him.
Yeah. Well done finding that tree. The grove that we
Thanks.
went to had no tree anywhere near as impressive.
Aw.
You know, I really am the one that picked it.
You were with an 8-year-old and a woman who can't see further than 30 feet in front of her. I'm not surprised.
Okay, fair enough.
Right. If you'll excuse me, I have some gifts to buy.
Oh, right. No, yeah, don't let me keep you. Okay. I'd like to like trade in any clothes that I don't really want anymore and guess get my, I don't know. Isabella doesn't really like clothes, does she? Not particularly interested in new clothes.
Oh, maybe.
Oh, I know. I would like to trade in any of my new clothes and get her like a prehistoric mutant Ninja Turtles shirt or dress or something. Probably not. I probably don't have enough for like the fancy one though. Like I go
I
to
think
our local.
you already have some. Like you're a 14-year-old. You'd have your own
Oh, okay.
clothes from when you were a kid.
Okay.
Don't think that's something you'd have to buy. I think you'd already have it.
Okay, then I'll trade in at the like cloth or skins dealer. I'll trade in some of my old clothes to buy like
Dealer.
like fabric for Tilla.
All right, what sort of fabric are you gonna look for?
Something with some color. Like something that's already had some dye put on it. I think she's done too much browns lately.
All right. So there's a pretty impressively dyed blue fabric that you could buy. There aren't a ton of colors.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. I'll take the blue.
Can I get a perception roll from all of you?
2.
11.
L.
11's really good for you, Rob.
I'm pretty sure M is like around 20.
Yeah, so L is like halfway.
Emma's 13.
Emma's 13. Emma's not.
Emma's the
M
middle
is
of the
13?
alphabet.
Oh.
20 is like you. That's like the
Oh,
end.
okay.
Yeah.
21. That's-
But Tilla, you notice as you're coming back from your house with your wallet, which you actually had forgotten, you're just a little bit absent-minded. You noticed that the town drunk Timothy, he's just sort of sitting at the outskirts of the market, and he's just looking super sad. He doesn't have, anything to buy gifts with himself, and there's nobody who seems interested in buying gifts for him.
I feel a pang of my own loneliness there. I assume there's someone out there cooking meats or hot food.
Yep.
I'm gonna buy some of that and bring it over to him.
All right. So he lights up. He's just super happy, and he turns into, you know how sometimes you do something nice to somebody and then they won't leave you alone for the next day, but you don't really want them to but you've done something nice. You know, it's that awkward
Yeah.
social.
Sure.
Okay, so you end up with that going on a little bit, and Timothy's following you around. He's eating the food and he's talking, and it's obvious he's really enjoying the food. He was a bit hungry. But after like 30 minutes of talking, I don't. Is there anything specific you wanna say to him?
No, he wants to talk. Let him talk. I'll respond to what he's talking about, but I don't have anything I need to ask him about.
Well, he does ask you, how did you make the portrait of a bluebird as a weaver? It's one of your, he says, in his opinion, it is one of your most beautiful works, and he doesn't think that the other people in the town appreciate it as much as they should.
I'm super flattered of that because despite my confidence, other people usually don't say nice things, I think, about my weaving just because of how I am around people. And I guess I give him my honest artistic answer. Like, the secret is you can't start with a bluebird, you start with a weaver, and then you have to turn it into a bluebird.
Okay, that's okay. He looks, his eyes just open a little bit wider than it seems like they could. Like, his eyes are just, he's just like, wow, you are so smart, Tilla. That is incredible. And when you like turn around to look at him again, you realize that he's gone off. He's in the stalls. He's looking for things to buy.
Wow. Right. I take that opportunity to kind of get rid of him because I'm still like, despite this emotional connection, I still find him annoying. I go back and start working on my gifts for Kath and Isabella.
All right. So what does that entail?
Oh, I'm weaving the gifts. A set of climbing shoes for Isabella, and for Kath a woven depiction of the chopping down of the great tree.
Nice.
Cool. All right. So you're going to be working on those for the afternoon?
Probably into the night.
Into the night.
If there's stuff that requires me to do it, then to not be doing that, then sure.
Everyone's just sort of doing their own thing today. It's market day. Okay. So Tilla goes off to weave. Kath and Isabella are doing their shopping. Do you have another shop you'd like to visit, Isabella?
No, because I'm pretty sure shopping is boring.
Okay. Shopping
So
is
like
boring.
I've already done more of it than I want to do.
That's fair.
What else is there at the market to do?
They have one of those like set up on the spot climbing walls that they're like, nobody can climb this sorts of things. Climb to the top and get a free pass to
How many times
Donald's
can I do that
Dining
before they'll
Emporium.
tell me that I need to go somewhere else and let the other kids try?
Oh, there's a pretty big line, so you could wait for 15, 20 minutes and then you'd get your go.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna do it and then I'm just gonna get right back in line again to do it again.
Okay. So as you're waiting in line, Roxy gets in line right behind you, and he sort of grins at you and he says, "You're gonna give it a go, huh, Isabella? I already climbed it 2 times. I think you can do it. I think someday you might even almost be as good as me."
I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be better than you once I'm 12.
Roxy laughs and he says, "To climb, Isabella, you have to have no fear." Do you really think that you can have no
Intellectual
fear?
12-year-old.
Well, we've already established he has no fear. I don't know. He's a very
That's true.
extravagant 12-year-old.
I am already not afraid of everything. So I
You're
will be
already
fine.
you're already not afraid.
Yeah.
Prove
No,
it.
I'm not afraid of anything. I will when it is my turn. But it is not my turn for a while.
All right. It's now your turn.
Oh.
As you're saying that to him and you're like, "Ha, I showed him." The guy running the wall like taps you on the shoulder. "Hey, it's your turn now, little girl." The people in front of
Okay.
you fell very quickly.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, I'm gonna try and climb the wall.
All right. So, are you dressed up in your best climbing apparel?
It does not occur to me that you should wear different clothes for different activities.
Okay.
So, I'm wearing whatever I wore to the market that day.
Okay. He doesn't have like a harness for you, but he'll spot for you, especially if you get high enough on the wall. It's
Maybe
about
he'll just kind of catch me.
Yeah, it's about 15 feet tall.
Okay.
So you wouldn't want to fall from the top really.
Is there like some like woven mats at the bottom or something?
They set it up on top of, some sort of soft grass.
Oh, okay.
Sort of. I mean, the ground's sort of frozen. But
Yeah.
I rolled a 4.
you rolled a 4.
4
All
4.
right. So the first half of the wall goes very well for you. You're climbing up really well, and everything is feeling incredible. Your feet feel sturdy, and you're pushing up to the next holds. And the holds, even though you're just 8, and you know that you are going to grow even taller and be even better at climbing, you're having no trouble getting to the next hold. You even do a little jump to get to one of them where it would have
Dino.
been out of reach otherwise. Now, dino means a different thing in this time because, as we all know, but
Mammoth.
yeah, okay. I need another roll though at the halfway point if you want to continue up the wall.
2.
2. You get another like foot up. No problem on that move, but the next move is harder than any move you've done before, and you're looking down and it's a little way down, and you're just a little bit unsure. So you have a moment to decide, and you're looking out at all the people watching you, and you have to work out if you're gonna go for it or not.
But is everybody's watching me?
Um,
I'm not.
some people are watching you. Like,
Okay.
you, from your perspective, it seems like everyone must be watching you.
Okay, then I'm gonna go for it.
You're gonna go for it? All right.
Mm-hmm. Should I roll again?
Yeah.
3.
3. All right. You go for it, and you grab the next hold, and like you grab it with 2 hands, and one of them slips, but you're just like hanging there, and you get back up, and you manage to scramble up the rest of the wall without too much trouble. You're like, your heart is pounding. You're really excited. Your hands are a little bit sweaty, but you get to the top, and everyone from your point of view sees you do it and is very impressed. Although in reality, like Roxy sees it happen, and your parents do as well, and probably a couple of other people.
It's everybody.
All right. Good
How do
work.
you get down from the top of the wall?
It's an awkward time to ask that, Isabella.
That sounds like exactly when I would ask it, though.
You can just climb over the top of the wall, and it gets you onto the top of a house. You can just get down from there really easily.
Oh, okay. So it's only hard to get off the wall if you don't get to the top,
Well,
because then you fall.
yes, unfortunately. And Roxy's pretty impressed. He can tell that you gave it your all, and you did really well. And he actually asks you what your shoe size is.
He asks me what my shoe size is?
Yeah.
I definitely do not know that.
All right. So he like rolls his eyes and walks away
I tell
from
him
you.
to go ask my mom.
That's what he was doing. All right. So you see him asking your mom. So around about now, there's a bit of a hubbub, and you hear Sebastian yelling with sort of a raised voice with the weapons trader. Isabella and Kath would both hear this. Tilla is off weaving. Sebastian is saying something about like priceless, important, mine, and the weapons trader is saying no, mine, no, and you can tell that some stuff is going down in there. If you want to like run away or move in, or what do you want to do as that's happening?
I think Kath goes home.
Kath goes home. All right.
Like as in like not very fast either, like kind of just so not to draw attention to herself.
All right, so you're like sauntering. Like robbers do right before the police catch them in comedy movies.
No.
No? All right. Not like that. All right. Isabella, you hear as well.
I feel like I kind of want to hide from this, but not so far away that I can't hear what's going on. Is there just something I can just let him be behind?
So you know the guy who makes the deer nuggets, and you like run up to him and you stand behind his like countertop, which means that nobody can see you because your head just barely comes up to the top of the countertop. So if you want to see, you can like stand up on tiptoes and see over, but otherwise you're hidden. And there's some yelling and shouting, and eventually it seems to resolve, and you're not sure exactly what happens, but you see that Sebastian leaves the tent and the weapons trader stays inside, and nothing else comes of that for right now. It's 8:25. Holy crap. All right. So that's the end of that day, and the next morning it is time for the ceremonial giving of gifts. So everyone gathers up in the village square, and it's just like because there's only 50 of you who live there permanently, and there are some others who are traveling by and might have gifts for you, but they don't have tons. It's mostly just people are walking around the circle giving gifts to each other. There will be like 3 people or 4 people up at a time, and everyone else is sort of sitting and watching and seeing the gifts being given and enjoying, and then when they see that there's a lull in the action, they'll stand up and give a gift to somebody else. And you guys are in there watching people like give pretty fish hooks to each other and clothes, and Isabella, you get a big bag of deer nuggets from your parents, and these are the ones that are flavored just the way you like.
Nice.
So, yeah, usually they don't even get made in this season, but you see the deer nugget guy whose name is John. He gives you a wink as your parents are giving you the deer nuggets. And
Okay.
there's a lull.
I'm trying to psych myself up for my gift to Genevieve, but I can't yet, so I give my gift to Kath.
All right, and what's your gift to Kath?
It's one of my more sculpture-like pieces that is a depiction of Kath chopping down the great tree.
Okay. I think I say, oh, thank you, but I'm also like not completely sure what it depicts or like what.
Perceiving
Or,
this, I
like-
explain it to her a little too strongly.
Yeah, or don't quite see the action of chopping the tree. Yeah.
It's you chopping the tree down. That's the axe. That's the tree.
Oh.
That's you.
Oh, okay, I got it now. Oh, very nice. Very nice. Thank you.
I can't do your hair color in this material.
Right. Yeah, it's hard to get that variance. Okay, well then I hand over the blue cloth while Tilla is here.
I think my reaction, the really abrasive Tilla that is kind of melts away for a second, and she's just really really excited about this blue cloth and what the possibilities that come from it. She starts babbling about, oh, I can make this and this and this, and I'm usually not able to depict anything with water this time of year, and she just starts talking for a while and not realizing that she's been talking for too long.
You're welcome.
Oh, thank you, and then walk back to my place in the circle.
Okay.
And I guess I do the same with Isabella.
Okay. Go ahead.
Come over and bring the climbing shoes and say they're shoes for climbing. They've got little claws in them.
They've got claws in them?
Yeah.
That's really cool.
I guess they've got claws in the sides, so you can like grab onto the trunk.
I put my climbing shoes on immediately, even though there's nothing to climb.
All right, that's all I need. I'll go back to my place in the circle.
Are my parents near me?
Yes.
I think they're going to have to remind me that I have presents for people.
All right. Well, as Tilla's like turning around to leave, Roxy comes up to Isabella, and Roxy is carrying a pair of climbing shoes, but they're not as good. They're not as good as the ones that Tilla just gave Isabella, and Roxy like looks really upset, and you can see that Roxy is upset, and you see that Roxy had climbing shoes to give Isabella, and he turns around and runs away without giving them.
Oh, can I chase after him? Do my climbing shoes go after that?
You can try. Roll for athletics.
2.
The climbing shoes, you're not used to running with shoes with claws in them and stuff, and they get stuck in the ground, and you fall over in the snow. However, Roxy sees that you were chasing after him, and he turns around and he says, "Oh, I got you climbing shoes too. They're not as good, though. I'm sorry." And he gives you the climbing shoes that he got, which don't have claws in them.
I take off one of the shoes that I already have and put on one of his, so that I'm wearing one of each.
He looks very pleased about this, and he lights up, and he he says, "Oh, I'm so glad that you like them. I think you're a really good climber." And he goes back to his side of the circle where his parents are.
I go present my used prehistoric Ninja Turtle shirt to Isabella.
Is it the same? Is it the same as my backpack, or is it like different?
I think it's like a slightly different like arrangement of the prehistoric Ninja Turtles.
But it's like the same characters. Like I understand who they are. Okay, then I'm
Yeah.
super excited.
Okay. Very good. I just stand there and I'm like, yeah, I thought you'd like this.
I put it on over whatever I am already wearing.
You're welcome.
So, Tilla, as you're looking across the circle at Genevieve and summoning up courage to walk over and give your gift to her, she actually locks eyes with you for a second, and you see that she's standing up and walking at you.
All right. I'm internally freaking out a lot.
And so she walks up to you and she says, "Tilla, I've always admired your art. I don't know if I understand it, but I've always admired it, and I think it does make the village look like a prettier place. Thank you so much for asking me to dance last night. It was very sweet of you. I got you this necklace," and she presents you like literally exactly the same design of necklace as the one that you bought for her. Like it's legitimately the same necklace.
All right. I start laughing, and it's kind of uncomfortable for a minute because it's not clear what I'm laughing about until I pull out the. I don't know how I would have it wrapped, but it's probably like in a piece of cloth with. We don't have writing yet. I don't know. It's just in a piece of cloth, and I tell her I was gonna get this for you.
Oh, and she starts to laugh, and I didn't know. I didn't think you'd think anything of me. Why would you buy me a present? I'm no artist.
It's not just artists who get presents at winter time.
Well, thank you, Tilla. And you see that she smiles.
Thank you,
and then
Genevieve.
she wanders back to her edge of the circle. I've lost track. Who has gifts left to give? Kath, you still have.
I don't think I've given either of my gifts yet.
Isabella has gifts.
I
to
forgot
give.
that I had gifts to
Yeah,
give.
your parents have.
Your
to remember.
parents nudge you.
Oh.
Isabella, why don't you give a gift now?
I take both of the gifts that I bought and go give them both at once, like not thinking that I should like wait to see either of them get opened.
Okay.
Because I'm just excited to give them. So I like run up to one of them and give them their gift, and like before they can even like look at it, I'm running away to give the other one their gift.
Okay.
And
Who
then
do you
I
go
remember
to
that
first?
I want to see them open.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe Tilla. Sure.
Okay. So Tilla opens your gift and sees.
What did I get? I got you something with a tree on it. What did we decide what it was that had a tree
Like
on
a
it?
shirt with a tree on it.
Yeah, you got me an extra large shirt with a tree on it.
That's what it was.
An extra large shirt, yeah. Tilla, you notice as you're looking at the shirt with the tree on it, that's actually made out of a fiber that's pretty rare, and you've been thinking for a while that you could make a project out of this fiber, but you haven't been able to find a supply of it. They ran out of it basically a year ago, and so there hasn't been anything new being made from it or any harvests of it.
I'm gonna kneel down next to Isabella and say, I don't know if this is rude, but would you be okay if I unwove this shirt and made something else out of it?
I look at her confused because I think this is what I thought weavers did. And then I say yes, thinking that that's the correct answer.
Okay, thank you. I want to use this real soon.
And then Kath gets her gift too, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm very excited, and I like, oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. It's so nice, and I like
so
hug it
much fur.
like a little kid hugging a stuffed animal, and then I put it on.
It's a baby mammoth.
Yeah.
It feels
And
very smooth.
I'm like stroking it as I have it on. I'm like, ooh, it's so soft.
And as you're wearing that, Agatha, the village elder, comes over to you and like sort of strokes it and feels it and says, This actually belonged to me once. This was the first cloak that I wore as an adult. And she just smiles really warmly at Kath and gives her like the knowing old person eyes and walks back to her side of the circle.
Okay. I go up to LeBron and I present him with the super fancy addle.
And LeBron is taken aback. He can tell that this is like, that's an expensive addle. That is really top notch, and he doesn't want to be like rude, but he's a smart guy, and he heard some yelling, and he knows about some stones, and he says, Kath, what did you do to get this for me?
I was not expecting this. I think I kind of play innocent and like, what do you mean? I just like I traded him a bunch of stuff I had that I had found for it.
Kath, you haven't found this much stuff. I've been hunting for 5 years now. I killed my first animal when I was 12. And in that time, I've been saving and saving for better and better equipment. I want to be the best. And even with all the stuff that I've found, I couldn't even afford half of this addle. I could not even afford the addle part of it.
God damn it.
Don't worry about it. Just be a really good hunter. What does it matter how I got it?
Kath, it's not just about being a good hunter. It's about being a good person as well. Come on. Let's go talk to this trader and work out what happened. And he takes your hand. He takes your hand. And he walks over to the trader. And he says,
I'm presenting a little bit of resistance at least. Like I'm not
if you want to like really resist, you can.
No. Just enough that like he's having to pull a bit.
He's doing it kindly. Like he is being very warm about it and positive, but he's trying to work out what's happened. And he gets to the trader and he says, did the trader have a name?
Adel.
Adel. That's right. Adel. um, Adel, I thought you were reserving this for me once I had earned enough to trade for it, but I see that Kath bought it from you for me, yesterday. Uh, what's going on here? I'm flattered, and I love it as a gift, but what's this all about? Oh my god, I have two NPCs talking to each other. Oh no.
Yeah.
What have I done?
The DM's worst nightmare.
What have I done? And the trader explains that Kath gave this beautiful stone and everything. And I think we're gonna have like a Chekhov's gun sort of thing, and LeBron is going to defuse the situation. He's gonna say, "Look, I don't need this addle, Kath. Thank you so much for thinking of me. It warms my heart, and I think that you are an incredible hunter, and I hope that once your parents let you hunt with us, that you will hunt with me. But
Aw.
I cannot accept this gift because I don't believe that these stones are ours to barter with to begin with. They belong to Sebastian and his people. And
They were very mean, and he was very like insulting in the woods. Like he was not yeah. I didn't yeah.
I have learned that strangers can be rude, but
Okay.
but not always do they
The
mean to
wisdom
be
of
rude.
17 years.
I mean, come on. The 12-year-old's smart too. It's Christmas.
I'm not criticizing. I just think it's funny.
They don't always mean to be rude, and really often they are good people we can learn from. Come on, let's go talk to Sebastian, and Adel, and Sebastian, and maybe we can work this out. And you all go off, and Sebastian understands what's happened, and sees that he's actually sort of taken aback, because at first he's like, you held out on me, my stone. But he also understands that he lost them and you found them. So you don't
And
like,
I returned one straight
Yeah.
up.
and you're not obliged to return them. And he's sort of taken aback when he finds out that you actually used the other one to buy a gift for somebody else. And so he actually purchases the Addle for LeBron, and he buys you a really, really, really nice bow and a trap maker's kit as well.
Oh.
And he does that with like the extra goods on his caravan. And the weapons trader, because he's doing all this business with him, he agrees to give him back the stone that he cares so much about in exchange for a bunch of his other stuff.
Okay.
And are we done giving gifts? Are you guys done giving gifts?
I am.
Those are the
Yep.
only gifts I bought.
Yep.
So as you think that everything's done, Timothy, he gets up and he sort of stumbles into the center of their circle, and he's looking around and he says, "Where's Tilla? Where's Tilla?" And he seems sort of a little bit afraid. Like this is the most in the middle of it all that he's been for a long time. He's very much on the outskirts of the village.
I guess I stand up and walk over to him.
And
What is it?
he says, Tilla, I heard what you said, and I realized that I had to start with goodness and then make it a gift. and he hands you deer nuggets, just like a big bag of deer nuggets.
My eyes go wide because I'm like, this is the best thing I've ever seen anyone do for anyone else.
I am not good at pretending that I like gifts, but I do my best.
All right,
Wow, wow, thank you so much, Timothy.
And he is so eager to have you like his gift that he doesn't even suspect for a second that you don't. And that is the afternoon. And in the evening, you eat and feast and celebrate. And the next morning is the beginning of the next year for your village.
Do we light the tree on fire and it burns all night? And it's like a bonfire?
If you'd like, sure.
Yeah, I like that.
I would
That's
very
our
much
tradition.
like to do that.
You light the tree and it burns on fire. And as you look at the fire and look up at the smoke billowing off it, you see the stars again up in the pure night sky. Thank you, guys.
Good job, everyone. That was fun.
If I'd known we were about to end, I would have waited to make this snack. But I'm now excited because I almost have my snack ready.
If you had a third day planned, I could do a Skype at some other point.
It's okay. I haven't had anything planned other than the part where you had to go get a tree, really.
Okay.
It worked
But we
out
could-
surprisingly well.
Yeah, we could do something else like this maybe again.
I would love to.
that.
I had
Yeah.
fun. Yeah, I really didn't prep for this at all. So the fact that it held together and we told a story I'm pleased by that.
Me too.
Easily one of my favorite characters I've ever gotten to roleplay. So
Yeah. I liked
really
Isabella.
like being a little kid.
Isabella was cool. Yeah, I liked the way that you guys added to the village. Added your own characters that you were interested in and stuff like that too. That was what I was hoping was happening because I didn't make the village, so it was important that you guys helped make it.
The longer I play role-playing games, the more I think that is the way to do it. Just
Yeah.
give a couple details and help your characters make the village.
I really like that we all had our own dice to roll.
I didn't even
Yes.
get to roll mine. I have this one has an orange, and I don't know what that is, and a lime, and the letter
Okay.
A and a bar. Oh, is this it's like a slot machine dice, I think.
It is.
Yeah.
Got it, and cherries.
Yeah.
I didn't roll it all there. I didn't give you guys opposed rolls. I don't know.
I got a lie.
I liked your characters a lot. That was cool.
Yeah. The role-playing system I just got and I've been excited about, the DM also never rolls a die.
Yeah.
Which is fun. They only do things in reaction to the characters.
What system is it?
It's called Legend of the Elements. It's a wuxia / Avatar: The Last Airbender themed.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And it's part of a larger system called Powered by the Apocalypse.
Yeah, I've been listening to a podcast that plays with Dungeon World, which is a hack of.
Oh, Friends at the Table?
Yeah.
Okay. I've listened to the first few episodes of that.
Yeah. I'm a few episodes into the first season.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're very good at what they do.
It's very good. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the reason I got this one, because I heard Friends at the Table doing it, and I thought, well, this sounds pretty good. I should try and get it on this.
Yeah, seems like those systems are pretty neat to play with.
Yeah, I think the longer I do it, the more I like rules light systems.
Hmm. But I don't get to roll my alphabet dice.
You could.
That.
You could roll your alphabet dice.
If you wanted to make a character name using that die, I think that would work.
That would be cool.
And the stars are like non-letter characters of your choice.
Yeah, or like spaces or something.
Yeah.
I might have to do that if I ever actually do a D&D game.
What did you think of your first role playing, Kaylin?
It was fun. I was really nervous, but I feel like I got into it really well. So
For sure.
Well,
Strongly agreed.
I liked only having 3 people. I am sad that Roberta couldn't do it, but this was enough for me to keep track of already.
yeah,
How was this is your first DM, right?
Yes.
Have you played much as a player character?
Those are my notes.
Nice. 8
I don't
month. Uh-huh.
I had I've had 3 campaigns. No, I've had 2 campaigns, one of which I had 2 different characters in, and I had one-off as well. My favorite campaign was done by a guy who was like homebrewing D&D rules and very much like letting us just do whatever the hell we want. Like he'd railroad us, but he'd let us like grind against the side of the rails trying to get off for a really long time in really amusing ways, which
Okay.
I just loved. Like I set up this really elaborate ambush for a boss where I like did some acrobatic tossing of a grappling hook up onto the tower outside his bedroom, and then we were going to like ride a griffin up and all this stuff, and he let us like sit there planning it for an hour and a half, and then we actually tried it for an hour, and the boss had just like made a wall out of sand which had a giant hand come out of it and then just picked us up and threw us back off the tower every time we attacked it. Anyway, I really enjoyed that. I don't know.
That does sound pretty fun.
Yeah, I did like storytelling stuff in college, and that was all about collaborative improvised storytelling, so that's what I'm mostly interested in. I don't care much
Yeah,
about
very
the
similar idea.
rules.
That much is clear.
Yeah, you got that?
In that there were no rules.
I stayed true to the die rolls though, fairly well.
Yeah. No, like you decided whether we rolled high
Yeah.
or low. One time you asked me for my modifier.
Yes.
You figured out what it means when Caitlin rolls an L, so.
yeah.
The star was a good roll.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
I liked that world. I don't want to go back again.
Okay. Well, I'm glad we all got a little arc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So wait, Katrina, you were saying it Rotzi with a TH?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But Steven said Roxy, and I was like, that also works.
Rotzi.
Mm-hmm.
Rothsey?
Yeah.
Okay. I misheard that, sorry.
Like Rathsi.
Roxy. Gotcha. Yeah, I heard Roxy, which was the name of one of my friend's dogs when I was a kid. So I don't know. That was fine by me.
What's the name of my sister's dog?
Oh, cool.
I thought it was Roxy because you guys liked climbing and it had like rocks in it.
Ah.
I had it in my head as Rocksy.
Yeah.
That would have made a lot of sense.
We named
There
that
you
kid.
go.
Well, he likes rocks. Let's call him Rocks.
Of course, we established only that Rossi climbs trees, so
That's true.
I like rocks.
Yeah, there's no rock climbing in the
That's
whole
true.
thing.
I mean, he claims to have done really well at that rock climbing wall, but we never saw that.
True.
That is a good point. He might have just been a braggart. All right.
All
I'm
right.
going to go.
Call it.
Yes. Thank you, guys.
Thanks,
We'll
Steven.
play games
Thank
again
you.
sometime
That was a
soon.
lot of fun.
Fun.
Let's do it.
Cool. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye, guys.